watching the studio dog Fred.
Bathing time.
Yeah, and he's cleaning everything, just so you know. We are literally halfway through December.
It is. I'm fascinated over the fact that I'm pretty sure yesterday was July.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I'm not even going to say it over. I'm just it just is. 2017 has gone by, really really fast, and there's been a lot of turmoil in it. I don't see anything changing honestly for 2018. But I've just but I do think that people are sort of. Hopefully they can find some time over the next few days, weeks, when people do take time off to maybe, I'll listen to the podcast here, but you may not want to do perusing the news. Just take a few minutes to relax and step aside. I'm sure that you can take a day off from phone calls and emails and stuff like that and news trauma.
Regular news trauma.
Regular
now, Great Northern Sexcast news is fun.
Because I was looking over, I was glancing over the outline for today, and a couple of things just went, I think I'm really glad I didn't have a chance to look at this until about 30 seconds ago. This looks really fun.
This is really
a few
fun.
things I have seen. Yeah. But I'm giggling over that. I was like, I can use a giggle.
Well,
so
and that's why we're here.
That's why. I'm like, this is good.
Well,
this is a good thing.
I have two things. Okay, first of all, I'm seeing another kick-ass bouquet on your desk. Does your guy just keep the flowers coming? Is that kind of his thing?
It's been a tough winter and fall. So he's just been a sweet guy.
I mean, every time I come in here, there's another beautiful bouquet, which that is awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, it's very sweet. This one's very Christmassy. It's lovely.
It's very, very pretty. Well, I have something to show you.
What do you got? Oh, look at that. I think I don't have my sunglasses with me, but that is one hell of a beautiful ring there, Kelly.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a champagne diamond. Okay, and it's really kind of appropriate because I'm a champagne whore. I love all kinds.
You love all sort of bubbly things.
Oh my God!
So you prefer even sparkling water over plain water?
I do.
You do.
I like fizzy. Fizzy is my thing, man. In fact, I think I might have to just give in and buy one of those things at home that you can make it.
The Soda Stream.
They've got Jillian Michaels. Have you seen her? No, you don't watch TV. Jillian Michaels, the former Biggest Loser trainer, big time fitness celebrity. Mm-hmm. Love her, by the way. And she's advertising for it. And
my daughter wanted one, and she has a lot of fun with it. Of course, it was a Christmas present a couple years ago, and now it's on the shelf downstairs. And she pulls it out every now and then, mm-hmm. and then there's a sticky mess everywhere. But but if you want, but I did find it. I think if I had a larger kitchen. Yeah. It would sit out. Yep. And we would use it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is gadgets. That's the thing about gadgets.
I'm gonna go blind here. I need.
Isn't it pretty?
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I really like the simple band.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. You just
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, I was just so excited. I mean, it just doesn't need anything. It's just like this really pretty diamond. And after we get married, we're getting married in 2018. After we get married, we have very unusual bands. And they're made out of deer antler, believe it or not, and titanium. Okay. So that this really matches the deer antler well.
Beautiful. Do you have a particular jeweler?
I got them from two different places, but the deer antler rings were made by an artist here in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Oh, okay. They were made by and they're custom, but they just don't look like anything you've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be looking down at something on your hand, you want to love it. You want to absolutely, positively love it.
Well, and you know what the thing is that's funny about it? The underlying joke. First, we saw the rings and we're like, those are so cool. Then when we found out what they were, we were like, well, we're both divorced and antlers are shed. So we were shed by our former spouses. So we're repurposing each other.
Oh, my God, that's it.
And repurposing the deer antler.
Reduce, reuse,
recycle. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So
I have friends that are an artist, and they make dice and other things out of antlers and knuckle bones and traditional games and stuff like that. So But this is, I like the idea of a ring. See, that'd be much more my style since I don't play games.
Yeah. No, so I was so excited.
I'm so happy for it.
Thank you. So anyways, I just had to tell our GNS crew. This, speaking of bling, thought it was a good lead into the first story. A $1.3 million dildo. Let's just let that hang in there in the air for a second. Holy Mother of God.
Did they? What? Okay, I did they? Okay.
So many questions, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out. Did they find a large diamond and just cut it into a dildo?
Mm-hmm.
Did they make it out of gold or platinum or something and then cover it in jewels?
No.
What? I'm confused here because I know there's like there's a company that I can get gold-plated ones and solid ones and stuff like that, and those things are run whatever gold's running right now. I think I had it on my website for an entertainment value for a while, but it was too much of a pain in the ass to keep changing the price on it whenever the gold changed.
Oh, right.
So I'm like,
yeah, no, this thing is, okay, here we go. It's called the Pearl Royale. It's made from solid platinum.
oh, okay.
And it is blinged up with 2,000 diamonds plus pearls.
Okay, I'm sorry, but excuse me. I hope it's something to handle. I mean, diamonds cut glass.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, good. See, good. No, I'm sitting here, and I just pearls I could sort of see.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But
they've got to be covered. They've got to be covered because otherwise you would absolutely.
Yeah, the settings. I mean, how would?
Yeah. Prongs? No prongs. I don't want prongs.
Yeah, even if it's a bezel set. I mean, it's just. And then you got to clean.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it sounds really.
I just no. I'm confused by this. I mean, I know it's probably done for. I mean, obviously it's done for marketing or something, and they build the thing and then they dismantle it.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is not staying around. No one's. What did they say? Why?
No. But these are just they're for the famous. Like, so there's one that's 24 karat gold, a vibrator. Allegedly, Gwyneth Paltrow has endorsed that.
Yeah, I've seen her too. So
yeah. Then there's another one for $3,300 American dollars. The Wiva, spelled YVA. I don't know how you say it. It's a 24 karat gold massager, and they also have a more affordable stainless version. Then there's a $130,000 King Cobra, which is designed to fit around the penis. It is handcrafted out of solid gold. I'm looking up, trying to imagine. Do you have a picture of that? A cobra around the penis?
Yeah, actually, there was a. I don't know if it's on our website anymore, but there was a company that I occasionally do some drop ship items, and it was in fact a cock ring in the that was a serpent.
Okay.
I think we sold actually a few of them.
Oh, so it's a cock ring. Okay, that makes more sense. And then finally, the $5,200 string of pearls massage ring, and it says designed to please both women and men. It should be worn on the middle finger of your most able hand. Swivel the pearls toward the palm of your hand and experience a world of adventurous foreplay. Bejeweled, I might add.
Actually, the only thing, think about it. Pearls were in salt water, they're in the ocean, stuff like that. They're probably the only thing that would make a reasonable sex toy.
Yeah. Well,
But gems. I mean, we get some blinged out items, so it's mostly on the handles,
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we do sell some of them, but it's not something that is a big seller for us because Midwesterners and most people are actually fairly practical. They want a functional, attractive item, that works.
Yep.
But you don't need to have. I mean, even the lingerie, some of the blingier stuff, people just look at it. So like a Midwesterner going into the Taj Mahal, going, God, how do you cool and heat this place? You look at some of the stuff and you go, how am I going to clean it? What's the maintenance? I mean, I don't know how much I want to think about. I mean, I want it to just work.
Yeah.
Like mostly, I just want it to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to think about it too much.
I hear you. I hear you. And plus, like diamonds, the point of diamonds are to be seen. So if they're a dildo, that means you're going to put them where the sun doesn't shine. So I just don't really, Okay, this one absolutely cracks me up. Because British people, the British wit, anyway, it does crack me up.
Yeah. I mean, anyone can bring, at the British comedies.
Oh my God.
There's a mindset, the whole millennia of shared experiences that created, like, pythons and Eddie Izzard and all that stuff.
Oh my God, I cannot even look at John Cleese without peeing my pants. Like, the man just cracks me up.
And that just takes, like I said, millennia of shared experience to come up with, that sort of humor.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's a named storm that hit the UK, Caroline, and apparently the satellite image was a penis, and so ITV news director Dan Howells tweeted, "Bloody hell, Surrey's getting fucked by the weather." And that's so great.
I've seen some things, and I'm like, are some of these photoshopped? What's going through there? And sometimes, nature just makes shapes.
So funny.
And I think I may have run across this accidentally when I was looking at it up, and I just said, "That's just funny."
That's pretty good shit right there.
Because it's up there, it's on the screen. You can't not acknowledge it because then you're just gonna bust out laughing more.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple things like that where you're just like,
oh
no, the weather, they turn and they look at the thing and go, I
love it. My favorite is when they're standing on television in front of a screen, and then they look at it, and then they look like right back at the camera, and you can just see the wheels turning, going, how do I not lose my job by slipping right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because some of these things look very phallic. They just do.
Yeah.
When you're looking at radar pictures or something,
and
like,
if you're bored late at night, go on and look at news bloopers. Those are the best ever. Like, I could watch those like for hours.
Yeah, because they try so hard. I mean, their entire job is to just, in a sense, not react.
Yeah.
Just read,
report.
Not react, report. And there's some banter. There's that, but that's in between. But when it is great, and they just lose it. That's it. There's no recovering from it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, what is the, up in Duluth, there's a news person, I know this person, okay, and she doesn't do that anymore. She actually, believe it or not, went from being a TV news reporter, and she's now a physician's assistant, and she runs, like, the ER up in Duluth, and, it's on, but if you go on YouTube and go for the, 1,000-foot shitter, if you put that in, what she was trying to say was, I can't remember the big...
The ships and the...
The ship, but it's a something, but she said shitter instead of whatever, I can't think of the word. It is just, and then she's laughing, and it is so funny. So funny. And watch it, but that's a Minnesota person, and I've met her, and she's hilarious. Anyway, so... okay, there's this online, it's this place called Superdrug Online Doctor, and I think for the last 3 or 4 consecutive shows, they have they've done research and done polls and surveys that we have used on here. They are busy, and they are uncovering all sorts of interesting information. We are enjoying their efforts, I might say. They quizzed 1,500 Europeans and Americans about romantic trade-offs, okay, to find out which qualities they prefer in a partner and how important sex is in a relationship. So they asked ladies, would you date someone who is not good at penetrative sex if they were good at oral sex? Very good at oral sex. 73% of women said they would give their partner a chance if oral was their specialty.
It seems reasonable because you're still concerned that the majority of women do not actually orgasm from that. And if you wanted to have children, you just need to do it you just need to do it the right amount of times while you're ovulating. It would be fine. I think that I can understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem unusual.
No.
Yeah, or not unusual, but shocking or different. I don't go, wow, really?
Yeah. 5% of women would end a relationship with a guy if he didn't want to perform oral sex. I'm surprised it's not bigger. Ladies were also more likely to favor speech skills over being great in bed. So much so that 88% of women prefer their partner to be a great communicator rather than a good lover.
Well, I suppose if you're a really good communicator, you can work on the other things.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know where that, just go through.
That's interesting. The study also found that women rate attributes like being romantic as more favorable than sexual performance. That's according to 78%, which I can see that one. Other things that were important, keeping up physical appearance, 62%, and being clean around the house, 52%, better than sex.
Well, they figure they don't want to be, they're grown-ass person. They should be able to take care of themselves.
Yeah. Okay, this one slayed me. Rapper, singer Macklemore.
I'm semi-familiar with him, but I understand. I think he's probably said some really crappy things lately.
Actually, this one's pretty freaking funny.
This one's funny. Okay.
This one I'm a big fan of. So he was on a guest appearance on.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Okay.
You might be.
Yeah.
Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was the show, and they got him talking about, hey,
Oh no, I'm thinking of Morrissey.
Sorry. Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I've got him in a mention
Okay,
later.
sorry. Okay.
Okay. So he says that he, in order to last longer in bed, that they got him on that topic. He's like, well, I have a naked picture of Justin Bieber. Actually, it's a picture of Justin Bieber with nothing but pancakes covering his junk. So he just looks over at that and it keeps him from coming. Like, how is that not funny?
Oh,
I love it.
What I want to know is, A, does he actually have that? Or two, you could say, like, picture of Justin Bieber. I mean, you could say that as a joke. But to add the pancakes,
yes,
that's the funny part. I mean,
yeah.
The fact that, like, on the fly, he comes up with that.
Right.
Because you can say, hey, naked picture of Justin Bieber. There's some out there. But the pancake part, that.
Yeah, I wonder now if there's going to be a run on that on eBay of people looking for it. But
well, there was a picture. There was a gentleman in town. I can't think of the name of the artist that painted people with pancakes on their heads. It's what he does here. And then several years ago, someone bought it or something. I don't know. It was gone before I even found out about it. But he painted somehow on some sort of website. There was my picture or something like that. Maybe it's a LinkedIn picture. I don't know. It was one of the headshots that I had for something. So we used that, and he didn't paint me with the picture of a pancake on my head, but he put a rabbit vibe on it.
Nice.
I get a printout of it somewhere.
Oh my God, I got to see that.
I don't know
That's
how I put it, but yeah,
awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, local guy's been doing. I know that when Prince passed away, he was down there painting tons of portraits of Prince. I don't think he was putting pancakes on their head or anything like that.
Okay.
He's a local artist. I'm blanking on the name, but somewhere out there, someone owns a picture of, like sort of a portrait of me. It's a very colorful painting with a rabbit vibe on my head.
Fantastic. I just wonder how breakfast carbs became his inspirational muse.
Yeah, I know.
It's fascinating.
It's on his. If I could never think about it, it's on his website. He just thought it's a way of showing the absurdity of things or something. So.
Beautiful. I must search for this. So, in response to the Victoria's Secret fashion show, we've got a real body response, and it's called The Real Catwalk, and it's a lingerie show by curvy and heavier models in Times Square in New York, and it's pushed by the confidence activist Christiana. And so the Real Catwalk, she said, we're not trying to be anti-Victoria's Secret, but we're just saying that, we need to have more out there. And I think that's pretty healthy. I don't think it's fair to slam the skinny people.
No,
I mean,
some people just are, and that's just fine. But what I also find is that even though, okay, so the models that are actually very, very thin are just, there's like one, they're thin. There's not a lot of curves, not a lot of boobs, not a lot of breasts, not a lot of hips. I mean, they're very, they're very straight. And then I've noticed that when you go into what someone might call the plus size, or even someone who's a 10, 12, 14, most of the folks that are modeling there, everyone's really in proportion. See, I think the next step is going to be out of proportion people are ordinary. Because who has proportional bust and hips and stuff like that? Some people have really big butts, and some have really big chest, or you have a gut, or you've got short legs, or,
Yeah.
But I've noticed that a lot of these real models are actually, honestly, in better proportion than a lot of folks.
Yeah.
There's still, there's only been a few ads where I've seen really short people or really tall people or just, or just awkward. Where's awkwardly shaped human beings? Versus, I get it. I like the fact that there's more than one, but, I think the next step is going to be show your awkwardness.
Yeah. I mean, get your freak on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad to see this, though, and it's moving into a much more positive area there. This one's for Megan. Mm-hmm. More than a quarter of millennials say they would replace a human lover with a droid.
Honestly, when I think about the stress that millennials are under with, student loans and not being able to find jobs and the willful destruction of resources, that they're going to have to clean up the mess that the other folks are making, dealing with another actual human being, that's too much damn work.
Yes.
So this is just a way to, you can masturbate, you can have your sexual release, but you don't have to have the other stuff. They have enough freaking stresses out there. Mm-hmm. I understand and the sentiment there. Mm-hmm. I have no problems with that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a study by Paris-based Havas examining the future of artificial intelligence,
isn't that an avocado? Havas? A Haas. Sorry, I'm sorry. You said that.
I thought, or Hamas. Isn't that a Palestinian activist group?
So it would be like a Palestinian avocado.
Sorry, I didn't know. Okay, no, it's just a research firm.
Okay. Sorry.
They surveyed 12,000 people, so this is a big smattering of 18 to 34-year-olds.
Okay.
And over a quarter said that they would date a robot. Let's look at the key findings. 27% said that they would form a relationship with a robot, not just screw it, but have a relationship. And British men were 3 times more likely to form a relationship with a robot compared to women. Men are also more likely than women to prefer their social media lives to their real ones. That kind of surprises me. Doesn't it you? A little bit?
I mean, I know... Well, I have a rather eclectic group of friends, but I still think that there's probably more guys in my social media world that don't post often than women. But I think that you're saying that the guys are more socially
active. Listen to this. 70% of all, both sexes, said smartphones are weakening human bonds, yet they want to fuck robots. Mm-hmm. But I digress. Mm-hmm. 42% of 18 to 34-year-olds report feeling depressed or unhappy after seeing other people's lives online.
Now, one thing is that since they've grown up with it, they don't probably understand how, they curate their own phones, their own social media. Don't they realize other people are curating theirs? Yeah. That disconnect I find interesting. I mean, yesterday, I posted, when I'm coughing so hard I pee in my pants, I figure, you know what, that's sort of funny. Although, by the way, I'm not peeing in my pants after surgery after all the vomiting.
Oh, yay!
Yay. Good. That's good news.
Okay.
But, I'll share that sort of, I don't share everything. Mm-hmm. But, I don't, but I know that I don't, I don't try and make my social media a bubble. But I know some people do. But not everything's out there. Some things, if it involves other people's personal, if it's just about me, I don't have any problems with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's been some interview clips. The one that I've seen is Sean Parker, but there's another one of the Facebook originals out there talking right now about how they knew exactly the addiction that they were creating.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of that?
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating. And
the way they do it,
the Sean Parker interview is fascinating. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen that, audience, just check it out. This one cracks me up, Colleen.
Okay.
40% of the people in this survey by Havas, the Palestinian avocado company, these 40% of these people between 18 and 34 are concerned that robots will take their jobs. To that, Kelly says, then don't fuck them. Okay? Just saying.
The robot is going to take your job, so you have to they've already taken almost every other job with automation and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Porn star Jenna Jameson. I'm hoping that you know a little bit about this one because I was confused. I pulled this in because it's got a couple angles. Do you not know this one?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
She was getting death threats after being accused of being transphobic. She was trying to blast online bullying in the wake of the suicide of August Ames. Okay. And she was accused, she criticized Playboy for featuring transgender playmate Ines Rao on the cover. And I don't know what she said, but she said she hit out at mob mentality of online bullying and wrote on Twitter, I would like to point out the incredible amount of attacks that were made on me by the LGBT community when I voiced my opinion on a trans woman being in Playboy. I received death threats against me and my daughter that went on for days. And I don't know what she said, though. In another tweet, she claims that August Ames, the person that killed themselves, was being bullied by members of the adult entertainment industry. So, we can look that up, but I was wondering if you'd seen any of that.
No, I had not run across that. I do find that people will grab on and just attack, for no apparent reason lately. It's the fringes, that do that. The militant, the folks that don't understand that there's no such thing as 100% agreement on something. There is no such thing as perfect, and to grab onto someone's, if you don't look at their entire body of work or particular, if you latch onto one gaffe or maybe something that was not reported correctly or something and go after someone, that's just really, that's really sad.
It is.
Going through there, and it could happen to anyone. Anyone that's listening here, or the two of us, something's, something gets reported wrong, or you use wrong word. No, there are some people that nobody deserves death threats. Hell, there are a lot of people in the world that I wish would just disappear, but I don't wish harm because there's people who love them. But but that whole, I think it breaks down to the fact that people expect if you don't think exactly like them, then you're against them.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, there's no such thing. We just had, we've got a lot of stuff going on in politics, and people are pointing at this, that, and they're disappointed at this choice or that choice. I said, is there anyone that would make everyone happy? No. It's just, certain things are awful. The fact that Roy Moore lost, but by is an amazing thing. That's just a creepy guy. Everyone should be able to agree on that. Is going through there, and but it was like only 1%, or like 1.5% that he lost by.
Yeah.
But so you look at the polls and who voted for him and stuff like that, and that's just, it's going to take a lot longer for that sort of.
Well, and to me, that election was the perfect example of how it's no longer about integrity; it's about your party winning, and both sides have been guilty of it. But it was inexcusable for him to be endorsed and for him to be permitted to continue his run.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that was just like, you've got to be kidding me.
There is nothing that there's nothing about any of his that said that he should be representing anyone.
Right.
Or anything. It was just awful. And and I do have a problem with, to some extent that both sides are the same, because, one side does think that some people don't deserve to live. There is a difference.
Well, all I'm saying is
some of the tactics, but the thing is that I to some extent, if you look at some of the right, party or nothing is how they won, and so you might have to take some of those tactics.
Well, I'm just all I'm saying is I literally watched this because I've been poli-sci was my minor, and I'm just saying that they've both done things. It's like and overlooked things and pushed agendas. And it's disgusting, and I don't differentiate there. I really hate that. And the other thing that bothers me, and I'm not giving Roy Moore a pass. I'm glad he lost. The only other thing, there was one thing that was said about Al Franken, and they said he never faced his accusers. He was just driven out. I wish that he could have gone through some sort of an ethics process.
He should, yeah.
That should have
happened because you need to. Although the process is tough. You should go through the process to show how it's done, and and then also the equating of boorish harassment versus actual rape. Still, that was allowed to be equated. There are degrees. There's degrees of everything out there.
For sure.
Should the guy have run again? No. Should he have gone through an ethics investigation so that what's going on and people have their day to speak and defend themselves?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't feel like he did. And then the other thing, though, and this is going to be less well-received probably, but I guess what I'm saying with regard to Roy Moore, while many people stepped up and said the accusations against him were credible, once again, they were all still just accusations. I believe that accusers should be believed, but there's got to be a process. I don't like...
we don't have the process yet.
Yeah, we've got to get it.
Yeah.
And because I don't like people...
Because, Tavis Smalley, everyone, a whole bunch of people, everyone's dropping. At this point, you just have to, you almost assume that anyone in power has gotten there by massive harassment.
I know, right? Doesn't that just really kind of turn your stomach?
So you wonder if this mob mentality is working. Who are they? You're going to understand who one side or another thinks is a threat on the other side by who gets attacked next.
Probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. It's like you said, that process. You were very eloquent about that the last time that I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but so Christmas party season or holiday party season, whatever turns your crank. This is a funny little 8 things not to do at a work party. Shall we run through them quickly?
If any of it, I'm assuming one of them is don't yank out your junk. If that's not there, I'm going to add it.
Let's add it because it's not here. Okay. These are all. But yes, Colleen, that should be number 1. But this list has number 1 is turning up late. And they said fashionably late doesn't apply here because there may be meals, whatnot. 15 to 20 minutes is the maximum window. And I'm like, okay. Get drunk. Okay, that makes sense. Because that could lead to taking out your junk. Yeah. And then forget the office hierarchy. Yes, it's a party, but remember who's in charge. I think that's smart. Wear a tiny mini skirt or, anything that reveals stuff that you shouldn't.
I suppose that means that the guy shouldn't show up in Speedos. I love the...
I know. It was just a girl. I know, right?
How about just wear, it's still work. It's not cocktail, which means the guy shouldn't show up in an inappropriate... there's different clothes for going out for guys, too, which would not be appropriate at an office party.
Yes. Yes. Don't just click up with your pals.
It is the one time where you might, if you're in a larger corporation, you might not have a chance. Someone that you email with all the time, but don't go through there. I have a small company, so I don't don't get that. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that I would have been in a, I'm going to say a very incorrect term. I would end up in the loony bin if I had to work in corporate America. There's no, I hear what my friends go through that are doing different things, and I'm just like, oh my God. I got enough issues with family business. We got a whole separate pile of crap when you do that. It's any, but at cubicle land, I would, no. No, I would not survive.
Yeah.
Or others wouldn't survive. Either way, it's not pretty.
The next one I don't really understand. This is talk while mingling. Well, isn't mingling talking? But what they're talking about is keeping one hand open so that you can shake hands as people approach and not be chewing on mini quiches and talking at the same time. It's kind of weird. The next one is talking about work. Avoid, cornering people and trying to get them into a conversation, which makes sense.
So in other words, it is not the time to advance specific agendas.
Yes.
It is time to just be a personal person so that when you email them after the holidays, you can say, hey, it was really nice talking to you. Can we have a meeting so we can go over these other things? Yeah. Oh, okay.
I like that. And the last one is forget to thank the organizers, which is probably very smart. I love this story. This next story, love, 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 love. The dominatrix workout craze. Did you read this? Have you seen this?
No, this is the one that made me giggle, and I'm like, oh my God.
This is fantastic. Mistress Anna runs a unique gym class from her house in Sydney, Australia. So it's workouts for fetish lovers. So they want to shed weight to squeeze into their latex gimp suits. She's a certified personal trainer. She started this back in 2012. And she's got everything from an IT consultant that likes nipple clamps to cross-dressing bikers. And she's like, I take the exercise that you see in a normal circuit class and kinky-fied them. How fabulous is this?
I think that if you're going to be going, I think I would prefer a dominatrix workout to a boot camp workout.
Yeah.
Both are going to be a lot of but one would be...
Listen to this. Attaching weights to men's genitals while they lunge.
No, maybe not that.
Others like having their nipples clamped while their dedicated trainer tugs them in torturous rowing machine style exercises.
No, okay, that's not maybe what I was thinking of.
They've got one computer programmer that enjoys dressing up like a baby and being humiliated by Mistress Anna while he sweats bucket. Fetish classes, fetish workouts.
That's weird. Okay, that's not. I guess I was just sort of more expecting, just sort of maybe being like, if something's not happening, a good smack on the ass.
No, this gets a lot more detailed.
No.
But it's what they sign up for.
Yeah, and it's their thing. That's fine, but no, that would not motivate me.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Why we should always have sex at night? Because it's the key to a good night's sleep. Central Queensland University collected data from 460 people between 18 and 70 and found that 2/3 of the participants slept better after sex at night. Just saying.
Yeah, you're all relaxed when you're done.
Yeah.
It's easy to sleep.
Yeah. Have you heard about the Metropolitan Museum in New York controversy?
I saw it ran across a couple of news feeds. And I sat there and I looked at just the headline and I looked at like 3/4 of the picture because they block half of it so you could,
Yeah.
So that, for a little clickbait there and you're going through there. And I went, if I click on this, am I going to be annoyed like I was with the pearl clutcher and the sky penis? And I went, probably.
Yeah.
Because from what I could see, it just, I'm thinking the people who thinks it's sexualized have more of an issue than the person who painted it.
Well,
is what I, from what I could see. I mean, if it looked like it was a picture of someone who was hot and was just trying to desperately get cool.
Yeah. Well, what it is, in case you haven't run across any of it, it's hanging in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and it's a painting done in 1938 by the French artist, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, Balthus. And it's a photo of a girl. She's relaxing on a chair with her legs up and her underwear is exposed. And there's a petition signed by 7,000 people to take it down because it sexualizes a young girl, and they call it disturbing. And in the current climate, and there's we'll put the link to the story up so you can look at this stuff. But what's really hard about this is that child pornography, even in cartoon portrayals, can get you arrested today. Mm-hmm. This is a 1938 painting. Now we're looking at art, free speech. I don't know. I mean, this goes a long way.
Honestly, you can wander through that entire museum and see portraits of naked children. So, yeah. I was going through there. I like I said, I didn't click on it because I didn't want to be annoyed by pearl clutchers and all that sort of stuff. And I don't, and I'm just, I don't know where the line is, but I have the feeling this is safely on the side of it doesn't need to be taken down.
Yeah.
I really,
And once again, I mean, there is a certain aspect of this where if you don't like it, don't go see it. Mm-hmm. Don't patronize the museum, or vote with your feet. It's a 1930s painting. It's a kid. It's in an era before there was air conditioning. There's a whole bunch. There's a lot of context here. Yeah.
That if you don't use that context and you can do, like Birth of a Nation, made years ago, a horrific movie then, a horrific movie now. That doesn't change because of why it was made and the context. It was made to show African Americans as lesser human beings. This painting was of someone who was, from what I can tell, of a kid who was hot.
Yeah.
And you're putting different ones, there's context, and I don't think that they're looking at the context of this. Now, I don't know enough about this other guy's works. I'm assuming it's a guy. Maybe in the whole context, if I looked into it and all of the pictures were, this or of only of pubescent girls or something like that, it might get a little creepy, and we can see who they're. But from what I can tell in the headlines I saw, I didn't see any of that context.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, we're writing some more. We're writing some more process. It sounds like with all of this. I think we mentioned this as an aside to another conversation we were having last week. But if you didn't know, the person of the year, people of the year, it's the Me Too movement, and they're calling them the silence breakers. What?
Did you notice something about the picture on the front of the magazine?
No.
Did you notice that in the one corner there's just an arm?
No.
And that arm represents all the folks that aren't ready to be revealed yet.
Oh, interesting. No, I did not.
That was if you look at the picture, everyone else is there, but one of them is just a woman's right arm, and that person is there, but they're not ready to publicly be, symbolizing all those women who can't say anything yet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was it was pointed out, a couple of different articles on it that I read.
Cool.
I thought that's pretty fascinating.
Well, and you know what? It's happened to men too. It's so, boys, men. Yeah, it's not good. Bullying and all
Terry
that.
Crews is, out again explaining that the person who assaulted him is Dustin Hoffman's manager.
Wow.
And he tweeted out abusers, help abusers.
Wow.
So it does happen to guys. It happens to big guys.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, and I mean, absolutely no disrespect, but it's like, it's mind blowing, when you see that sort of thing. I mean, it's just, awful. And he's pretty eloquent too. I've seen some of his statements.
Well, like I said, he's also funny. So
yeah,
you always hear that the funniest person in the room is probably the smartest person in the room.
Oh yeah.
And so his humor level tells me that he is damned intelligent.
Oh sure, absolutely. I've always said that you can't be stupid and funny.
No,
you just can't. It doesn't work. Okay, this is so fantastic. The Bad Sex in Fiction Awards gets done by the Literary Review every single year, and there was tough competition. I mean, there was Mouth Machine and Diabolical Torso were in contention, but a guy named Christopher Ballin took home this year's award for this. There's two, actually. The skin along her arms and shoulders are different shades of tan, like water stains in a bathtub, he's writing. Her face and vagina are competing for my attention, so I glance down at the billiard rack of my penis and testicles. That's the winner, people. So
this was actually in something, or is this
in a book?
Okay,
it's in a novel.
It's not like someone is attempting to write poorly.
No, this is a novel from a novel called The Destroyers. So every year, this literary review, they do this thing, and they find bad sex in fiction. Yeah,
worst writing.
And this one absolutely won. And this is so funny. One of the commentators said, they said, we were left unsure as to how many testicles the character in question has. Billiard rack of my penis and testicles. Like, what? The 2016 award, in case you're curious, went to a description of ballet dancer genitals. 2015, Bad Sex in Fiction was won by Morrissey, but I can't remember what it was for. So there you have it. What were you going to say about Morrissey? You brought him up earlier.
No, I just know that a lot of folks but he's getting a lot of bad press from how I don't know whether it's racist things or sexist things or whatever.
He's an asshole, just so you know.
Yeah, that's
he's
what I'm
always
saying.
been an asshole.
So, I've just seen some stuff. I don't really follow music, so.
Okay, well. Okay.
But I have heard, so that's.
So he was the lead singer of the Smiths, and you may remember wonderful things such as "Girlfriend in a Coma." My personal favorite is "Hairdresser on Fire." I mean, they had some really interesting music, and then when he became solo, he had kind of this cult following. And I do like some of his music, but he is such a repugnant human being. I remember hearing him on a live interview in California years ago. And he was just rude to his fans that called in and everything. So it's like, not a nice guy.
It's glad that people call him.
Yeah, awesome. So next week is Dr. Markey. is. That's right. Oh my gosh. This is, quite an achievement for a podcast.
Yeah. So, folks that are listening to this, feel free to share.
Yeah.
Tell folks if you like it or something like that. We don't think that they're going to be liking the great business success.
No. And I still, oh God, I gotta do this today. I gotta order my hoodie. My Great Northern Sex Cast hoodie. And they're so cute. Available online. Okay.
It's Fantasy Gifts is the name, all one word.
Okay.
And when you click on it, it might not show up, but if you look in the bottom, you can say show enrollment term because with the with our name and then the graphics have the two vibrators, we decided to just make it, put it under.
Yeah.
That made more sense.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, that is going to do it. We will be back before Christmas. We've got one more show for the Christmas holiday, and Dr. Markey will be here. We can't wait. And anything else for you today, Colleen?
That's about it. I'm just looking.
Oh, me too. And so everybody take some time to chill. And we'll be back next